Hi, I'm Scott, and this is Scott Rod's Wicked Rides. How's it going today? It's Monday morning, and yep, everything's right where I left it. How's it going today? So, as you can see, I didn't get very far the other day. I got the rear end out. My dad called me. He's got some personal stuff going on, so I kind of got a little sidetracked talking to him on the phone. So, yeah, whatever. I didn't get back to this, as you can see. So, I went and got another vehicle to try and fix and flip. We will show you that. This is a 95 Suburban, two-wheel drive, 350 with 165,000 miles on it. And, well, my buddy had a 98 pickup truck, and I parted it out, and the brakes were brand new on it, fuel tank was brand new on it, bumpers were good on it. So I have a lot of parts for OBS. I found this one. It was a decent price, and it said it just needed brakes, and the fuel stuff had already been done. So I figured if all else fails, for the price I paid for it, I got another 350 and a two-wheel drive 4L60 or a 4L80. I'll find that out here when I get it inside. Or if not, then I can try and flip it and make a little bit of money and pay for the frame to get sandblasted and painted. So I did that. And then I drove for my mom yesterday. We went to the chiropractor because my back's all messed up. And yeah, so today is now Wednesday, and I'm going to break out the grinder. I got my gloves. I got my welding hat just so I don't get a bunch of grinding in my hair. And I'm going to grind these rivets off that I don't need anymore. And we're going to get a little bit further on this. And then I just got a phone call on the cylinder heads that they are done. So I'm going to go get those next. Hey, you know, it's really funny. As I was setting up the shot for this next part, grinding, right? I got a bunch of sparks flying. I was setting up my shop. I don't know what you see in the corner, but I see my fuel cans. I'm going to go take those and I'm going to go put those in my trailer outside just so they're way away from my sparks today. Yeah, so don't forget, if you're cutting, grinding, welding, check your surroundings. Make sure you don't got fuel cans, thinner, nothing that could catch fire, especially when you don't have water in your shop and you rely everything on extinguishers. So I'm going to move those real quick and I'm going to get back to this. So I know you guys always get the time lapse, and you probably can't hear me for nothing. But I'm gonna let you see one of these rivets to see how long it actually takes to do one. And I've got, I don't know, probably about 40 of them to grind down. So here we go. and that's just on the one bracket. That one has 6 rivets. That one's got 6 rivets. Yeah, there's a bunch. So that was just one rivet. I got a bunch to go. So here we go. Hey, how's it going today? Well, today is Thursday, and I was grinding rivets all day yesterday. I thought I had it pretty well done, but come to find out, I guess I need to take the parking brake brackets off also, and the front sway bar brackets off. And then I got a bunch of holes that need to be elongated to bigger sizes. And then I got to cut a little C-notch out in the back. So we are going to test fit the suspension today and try to drill as many of the holes as I can before it has to be installed. Some of it seems to be that I have to drill it as I go, so I won't have it all drilled out, but hopefully today's the last day of working on the frame, and I'm calling sandblaster and possibly taking it later or tomorrow. So here we go. I'm gonna try and get this thing ready to go. I'm gonna try and get this thing all buttoned up and ready for sandblasting, and then go get the paint, and hopefully next week we will be painting this frame. What's up? I have been grinding rivets for the past 2 days. I think I'm finally done grinding the rivets. I got the 2 rear panels mounted, and then I'm pretty sure when I told the guy that helped me get my suspension in the first place, I don't know, I got a weird delivery thing for my house and my parents' business, so I had to have it delivered to my buddy's house. It said there was supposed to be 4 boxes. I told him there were supposed to be 4 boxes. I got 3 boxes. He didn't want to call and deal with it. So, long story short, I'm missing a diff cover box because I don't have the mounting capabilities for my rear, arm. It mounts to the diff cover. Well, I don't have that bracket. I don't have that cover. And then on top of it all, I got Ford hardware for a flame notch 67 to 72 Ford F100. So it looks like I'm as far as I can make it today, which sucks because now it's going to put me a little bit behind again. But we have to figure that out, obviously. And I think I have a lot more holes to drill. I'm pretty sure I have to drill out every hole that's in that bracket back there, which is like 20. Because in the picture it looks like there's a bolt in every hole. And then I have to finish mocking all this stuff up so I can still get it to the sandblaster. So it looks like it's going to go beginning of next week. Hopefully get it there and back and get it finished. If it's just a bunch of 5/8 bolts I need to go buy just so I can at least mount it, I can do that. I don't really care. I'll get grade 8 bolts. I just need to figure out what I need. So that's where I'm at. It's Friday. I am finding out real quick that, yep, fucked around and found out again. So I gotta stop everything, go call QA1, which they're pretty good about getting back to me. I just haven't been able to open up the suspension kit, and I've had it for about 5 years, so I'm probably gonna have to buy stuff now because, yep, is what it is. But I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going, and we're gonna get this thing done. So here we go. I'm gonna get on the phone with QA1 and go from there. All right, so not anybody's fault. I'm not trying to hold anybody accountable, saying it's their fault, did it on purpose, whatever. But because I don't ever look at anything right away, 5 years later, I'm looking at this box, and I'm working on a Chevy, but it says hardware, flame notch, 67 Ford, F100. So those bolts, I just emailed them to see if they were going to work or not. Until then, I'm not going to use any of those bolts. I'm going to use these that I went down to the hardware store and got. So I drilled everything out with 7/16 drill bit, and well, those ones fit with a 7/16 drill bit. So I'm going to install these for now and finish drilling my holes at least so I can still get this thing done enough to get it sandblasted. So here we go. We're going to separate all these and lay them all out so they're ready to put the suspension on with. Because if you look in this diagram, it sure looks like every hole has a bolt in it. So I got to drill a bunch of holes still. So here we go. All right, we are wrapping up the day on Friday. Tomorrow we have my girlfriend's family coming over. Sunday we're gonna do stuff with my mom. So this is going to be the end of the week for our video. I'm not gonna bore you with the other side because I have to do the same thing. I have to pilot hole, drill out, I don't know, 24 holes or something. And then, yeah, so I got a lot of cutting and drilling still to do. And then the rear will be all drilled out for what I should have to modify. I will open up the front boxes to see if anything in the front needs to be modified more. I will look at the sway bar brackets to see if I have to modify that because I have to change those brackets for the QA1 sway bar. Hopefully everybody has a good Mother's Day. We're going to hang out with my girlfriend's family. We're going to hang out with my family. We're going to relax a little bit, have a couple days off after cutting and grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding all those rivets out. But the QA1 suspension is fitted on the passenger side because it's upside down. I got to fit it on the driver's side. Like I said, about 24 more holes and bolts. And then when I was going through all the parts, I'm supposed to have a rear diff cover for the 10 bolt rear on the Chevy, which I don't have. So I got to contact QA1 and see if I can purchase that because I got my stuff like 5 years ago. So I'm sure I can't just swap it out or give it to me because I had it in my kit and I never got it. Is what it is. I'm gonna figure it out. I also got those Ford bolts. I'm going to see if they can switch them out for the Chevy kit bolts. I don't know if I have enough for the Ford kit for the Chevy kit. I went and bought a bunch of bolts at Ace Hardware so I could at least get this mounted up and get it to where I need to go so I can get it to the sandblaster. Obviously Monday now or Tuesday because we didn't get it there this week. So as soon as I get the other holes drilled though, it should be ready to go. Like I said, check the front for the cross member for the front control arms. Make sure I don't have to modify anything for the front sway bar. If I do, get that done, and then like I said, try and get this thing off to the sandblast shop on Monday next week. Cylinder heads are done too. I can go pick those up. All I got to do now is find lifters, which I'm having a problem finding lifters right now. They are all out of stock everywhere, which is why I went and talked to the Michigan Motorsports the other day because they're like 8 miles off of my trip when I go pick up trailers. So it was a really nice shop, super clean shop. Really nice, awesome people to deal with. I got a banner, I got a shirt. Talked to them for a little bit, but that's where I got my camshaft. That's where I got my rocker arms. That's where I got my push rods. That's where I got my my cam kit when I bought it. So hopefully everything works out there. Hopefully everything goes good the rest of the way on this build. We should be past our last hiccup with this rear diff cover. Everything else should be my problem from now on. I got to get a rear differential for the rear end. So I got to mess with that anyways. Cut some brackets off of that because I don't need the shock brackets. It's got a secondary plate on it on the bottom from when they flip the axle over the springs. So I got to cut that off. I only need the top one. I got to drill some holes in that, but that's different. I can get this off to the blaster and get it painted. I just got to make sure the cross member doesn't have to be modified. So I'm going to quit rambling. I'm going to go home and enjoy the rest of my night. And then I will come back either tomorrow or Sunday night after everybody leaves, and I will finish the other side and get it ready for Monday. Yeah, progress. That's all that matters. We're getting further and further and further on this truck.
So if you like what you see, hit that like, subscribe, and notification button because we have new videos coming out every Monday.